email Quadlytics came about from simply me looking at what the variables were in email marketing, and I put them into basically 4 fundamental stages of deliverability. Was it delivered? Was it opened? Was the link clicked? And was the preceding action on the next page actually taken? And so by chunking it up and looking at these different areas and being able to tag them associately, the first 2, deliverability and not opens, we can't necessarily tag, I don't have any way, perhaps you do, of tracking that data and tagging individuals based off of that. But opens, absolutely we can track. Now opens, some people think is kind of mysterious in that it's famously inaccurate, but it's only inaccurate if it's showing somebody didn't open when in fact they could, because obviously how we track email opens is through the 1 pixel image. Was that pixel image loaded up on our server? If it was loaded on our server, then we know that they opened that email. But Outlook, Gmail, a couple different systems don't actually automatically load those images. And so actually there's another video I'm doing here called to open or not to open is the question, I think is the name of the video, where I give a sneaky little trick I came up with for finding out if in fact they are automatically loading images or not. So check that one out too. But if they did open, we can at least tag that, know that they did open it. So it is accurate when they did open. It is accurate when they clicked. And so now at least we know for certain that this person did open. Once they did open, did they click? And once they did click, did they actually move forward? It's not only just an analytics system, but also a follow-up mechanism. So we can follow up with people differently based on if they opened but didn't click, if they clicked but didn't buy or comment or share or do whatever it is that, or do whatever it was, complete the survey, whatever it was that we wanted to do on the next page. And so by being able to follow up with that, we can increase our conversion rates. One specific instance that I can recall off the top of my head was with Roger Salam of the Winner's Circle. He flew me into Florida last year to help him get more people to his event last minute. And so I applied this methodology. We sent out an email campaign. I looked at those who opened but didn't click. And I resent a message specifically to those who hadn't opened. I sent out a message specifically to those who opened but didn't click. I sent out a message to those who clicked but didn't register for the event. And by doing that, the result was that I tripled his open rate. I almost quadrupled his click-through rate. I more than doubled his the rate at which we were registering individuals. And we also, simultaneously, I decreased the opt-out rate. I think it was by 75% decreased the opt-out rate and the spam complaint rate. So looking at all his metrics, not only did we increase opens, increase clicks, increase registrations, but also decrease the spam complaint rates as well as the opt-out rates. And the point is because it's relevancy. Again, going back to a couple of the other methodologies that I mentioned here, it's all about context and relevancy. So the more relevant your messaging is to who they are, what they've done, where they've been, the higher your conversion rate is going to be in that automatically. And so not only conversion rate in those terms, but also making sure in terms of getting them to do what you want to, but also in referencing them to not do what they're not supposed to, which is to opt out or to spam complaint, because at least now, even though you're emailing them more, because I dramatically increased the volume that I was sending out, but not only are you emailing more, but it's not seen as offensive because at least you're referencing and you're using that information in your communication with them, so at least it seems more familiar. Because it seems familiar, they're going to be less likely to hit the spam button or to opt out in that. So that is email Quadlytics.